Well, we'll just say that these are two players who are playing Tetris on our screen right now. We'll get them underway. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. No Cap November 2023. Tommy, of course, your runner-up in Mega Masters this year. DanV, a former, and of course, a CTM Masters event winner in the past. DanV, of course, the winner of Faster Masters. So there you go. That is, these are two people who have played Tetris. I don't know any, well, I know their accomplishments, but I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube or not, or maybe people haven't seen the accomplishments yet, and I don't want to spoil anything that might have happened multiple months ago. Both players are underway. Tommy with a covered well, DanV without a covered well, waiting on that first long bar. Thank you so much for the countdown bits. 3, 2, 1 from K9 watching Tetris. Javan T with the tier 1 resub 9 months says, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say that out loud. Alan Bot with the tier 1 resub as well. Thank you, 13 months. If you want to go ahead and contribute to the prize pool, don't worry, it doesn't benefit me in any way. It benefits the players. If you want to do that, go to ctm.gg/Matcherino, MATCHERINO. There's an adjustment for DanV to make room for that T. And there are both free and paid ways to contribute to the prize pool. 100% of the contributions to the prize pool goes to the players. Matcherino does have a little bit of an add-on fee that helps support Matcherino's operations, and would make them happy to have them paid for their partnership and them to do all the legwork. And of course, there are sponsor quests and coupon codes if you're watching right now live. Let's get those coupon codes done now. Let's do them. 127 viewers right now. If you all went to Matcherino and did the code, it would be over. I won't have to bug you. We are playing No Cap. That means, well, in previous, however, for several previous months, we have had a level 39 super kill screen. Well, all that is off the table. Players are going to play starting on level 18, 130 lines to 19, 100 lines to 29, and then that's it. No more speed increases. And they can play forever. 202 here for Tommy, 240 for DanV. DanV long bar down the right side for a triple. It's going to build up for a dirty Tetris, and there you go. Uncovers that gap in column 7, so should have an easy, drama-free transfer of the well to column 10, where it belongs. 249 for Tommy, 296 DanVweller. It's funny, last month, or was it last month? Yeah, last month in the chat, someone says, hey, does anyone realize that DanVweller is like really similar to vandweller? I thought that was pretty funny, because I think they legitimately didn't know, which is fine. Like, how would you know that if it's your first month or whatever? All right, Tommy trying to get set up here. DanV almost 90,000 points ahead. There's another Tetris from DanVweller and a Tetris for Tommy. All bar down for each. 329 Tommy, 415 DanVweller, DanV, DanVinky, whatever you want to call him. All right, there you go. Adjustment for DanV to get set up for that Tetris, and gets it. And Tommy's been pretty efficient, and so is a lot closer here. About 65,000 points behind. A little under 3 Tetrises here on level 18. Of course, Tetris is here on level 18 worth 22,800 points. Tuck of the T for Tommy. T-tuck Tommy. And long bar down, DanV 488. There's one Tommy 446. Just about 15 or so lines away from the level 19 transition where the speed will increase by 50%. DanV, a great adjustment of that T to set up the tuck of the O. Oh man, Josh Tolles just went live, everybody. So yeah, thanks for hanging out while you could. All right, DanV looking for one final Tetris before the 19 transition, and bang, Tetris for DanV, 582, 19 transition, and 518 transition for Tommy. About a 60,000 point difference. I hope everyone in the U.S. had a good Thanksgiving. And if you didn't have a good one, well, you know, I don't really have anything. I don't know what to tell you. Like, change your life so that next year you have a good Thanksgiving. Optimize your life for Thanksgiving. DanV with some problems on that left side after a missed drop. Now he's got gaps sort of in 3 or 4 columns there. And Tommy, some problems on that left side. Going to try to bring this down. Both players' boards are not ideal. And that left side for Tommy. Okay, gets a long bar over. DanV still trying to bring this down, but kind of treading water. Not made a lot of progress. DanV takes that triple. Tommy getting set up one row off the bottom in column 10. Tommy not really able to take advantage of this slowdown by DanV too much. Although is about a Tetris behind. So now actually is able to take advantage. He's 10,000 behind. All right, there we go. DanV is clean after that triple. There's a dirty Tetris Tommy, and Tommy in the lead. I guess he is able to take advantage. DanV going to get that lead back. He's ahead by a few lines in the sequence. Tetris Tommy. Tommy, the runner-up in Mega Masters this year, losing to, am I allowed to say it? All right, block your ears if you don't want to hear it. Alex T. In Mega Masters, that's our championship, our online championship every year. Tetris Tommy, 826, 814 for DanV. Yeah, it's weird to see in our previous streams, Alex T all of a sudden just like is an adult. All of a sudden, just now an adult. $918 Tommy, $953 DanV. DanV will transition in at $992 into 29, and here we go. The interesting thing to keep an eye on is how these players adapt to there being no 39. Tommy being kind of building up some on that right side before 29. Able to get a Tetris here. But Tommy able to downstack very quickly. 967 DanV with the max out A17. Tommy back by about 50,000 points. And Tommy's board starting to climb a bit. DanV with a nice low board and just kind of scaling here, not taking too many risks. Tommy in trouble. Tommy going to top out here at 976. DanV will be good in game number 1. We're going to ask our players basically not to mullen unless you are near a PB or some real significant milestone. All right, both players are ready. It is game 2. Get them started. 3-2 on Tetris. All right, different openers from the LZ starting pieces. Or ZL. All right, DanV already starting. A little weird there. That square looks to be a little problematic. All right, there's an adjustment for DanV. Let's see what Dan's going to do. And yeah, he's going to go for the column 9 Tetris. And there's the long bar into column 9 for the Tetris for DanV. And a spire. S's. Columns 5 and 6 for Dan. I'll have to build around that. And DanV finally clean. And now wants some S's to tuck in there. Gets a Tetris, 60,000. There's another Tetris, Tommy 139. DanV in the United Kingdom, Tommy in the United States. 2 different countries, but each are united. $133 DanV. Last couple of brackets were done on the same day, and they did go a little long. So these matches are going to be probably longer because players. What we did find in the first couple of brackets that players definitely are adjusting to the no cap November. They're playing a little bit less aggressively in the early rounds, and then when 29 comes, there's the Corian adjustment for DanV. Playing a little bit less aggressive in the earlier rounds, and then less aggressive in, 29 itself. So, or levels, not rounds, whatever. And I don't know, some of those Chasedown nerves that you used to see back in the day, I think kind of are revisiting the scene a bit. It's slow. I don't know. I think when you're doing a Chasedown and it's 29, you don't have time to think or intellectualize or overthink or whatever. But when you've got time and it's slow enough for you to actually handle, I mean, it's crazy to think 29 is slow enough for them to handle or whatever. And they've got time to think about it, and they don't have to be aggressive. The players can start to overthink a little bit, and the Chasedown nerves come back a bit. So, very interesting. $344 Tommy, $323 DanV with that Tetris dirty. And looking to uncover this well, and we'll do so. So pretty darn close, just a couple thousand points and one line separating these two great players. Two of the top players in the game. Of course, everybody in this tournament is one of the top players in the game. Evelyn P27 with the subscription. Thank you, Evelyn. People enjoying Tommy's adjustments here and skims. I missed it. But you probably didn't miss it, so I hope you enjoyed it. 419 DanV. 463 Tommy. There is a Tetris DanV. There we go. Going to set up with that square. Columns 8 and 9. Tommy looking for a J for that left side. There's the J. And opens up the right. And bang Tetris for Tommy, 490. Another Tetris Tommy, 513. So they're pretty much keeping pace with one another now over the last, I don't know, 30 lines or so. Tetris DanV 522 into 19. The Whataburger level for you Texans. And it looks like Tommy here, 569 on level 19. So super close. There's the bar for DanV, 610. Evelyn says, it's the first time I'm able to catch a stream. I usually just watch on YouTube. Well, it's welcome. Thanks so much for the Prime subscription as well in your first Twitch stream. Putting these other Twitch viewers to shame, right? This is Evelyn's first time in there and subscribing right off the bat. The rest of you, what are you doing? All right, 699. Take a skin and a Tetris there for DanV. 729. 667 for Tommy. Another Tetris DanV, 817. Go out to about an 80,000 point lead DanV. That turkey and all that stuff took a lot out of me yesterday, so I think my math is on point. So a little bit of a food coma. All right, there we go. Long bar into the long bar hole in the middle for Tommy, and long bar into the right side for a Tetris, 855. DanV getting set up. Tetris Tommy, 894. And there's one DanV, 957. Players have plenty of time, so I think you'll see players be a little bit more conservative because they know they have basically infinite Chasedown potential. And then there's that game of chicken that happens on 29. Like, oh, if I get too far ahead, am I going to, try to play aggressive? Or am I going to make my opponent do that? And comfortable doing that? And that make them top out. Two lines away, both players with max outs. 1.1 for DanV into 29. Tommy just going to take a simple, easy triple into 29. Not going to try to set up for a Tetris or anything like that. Maybe Tommy felt he was playing a little bit too aggro in game one. And yeah, just taking that double down the middle. And both players actually kind of throwing pieces left and right and working that middle. For those of you who are not fan of level 39, this is your moment. This is what you've been waiting for. That 39 kill screen, if that's not your thing, then this is what you want. And here it is. Tommy actually going to climb the board here. And that is top out time for Tommy. DanV going to take game number 2. GG's. Both are ready. Let's go. Vandweller up 2 games to none over Tommy. 3-2-1 Tetris. I like DanV's got the gardening gloves on. You know, it's got those grippy little dots on those gardening gloves, but of course he's got those on the back side of the gloves, so he's wearing that glove in reverse. And Tommy, I think, has the Eric standard rolling glove from Amazon. You get them in like a pack of 10 pairs. $12 pairs. Oh my God. You can get them through our Amazon link. If you're on the About page, they are linked down there. We get a little bit of a commission when you use our link, so we do appreciate that. I don't think I've actually ever seen have we ever seen a payment from Amazon? I don't think people are using the link. I think people go out of their way. They might click the link and then go open another browser just so we don't get anything. They want all that money to go to Bezos. There's been a few payouts. Oh my God, I haven't even noticed. Where do they go, Humpy? I don't even know where they go. I don't recall seeing them. Vandweller getting up near the top of the stack. He's going to top out at 96,000. So that is a win for Tommy here in game 3. So Tommy, you can go ahead and top out. You are good, I promise. I'm not going to do you dirty like, I don't know. When's the most notable time I did that? Against Nenu, right? So you got the point, Tommy. You got the point. Game 4, 3-2-1 Tetris. This is like work from home kind of stuff. So on my phone, the front door, there's people coming over, and they can't get in unless it rings my phone, right? So the front door intercom like rings my phone, and so they're trying to get in. And normally I'm the person that goes downstairs and lets the guests in, and Sue, is the one who, she does the other stuff. But that's my job. We have different jobs. I take out Sue takes the trash out of the trash bin, and I take it over to the trash chute, right? So we have different little jobs. My job is to let people in, and so they called me, so I had to deal with that. Fascinating. But we have people coming over, and they're early. That's the other thing. They're early. Like, guys, never show up early. That's a big etiquette thing. If someone says come in at 6:30, don't show up at 5:45. If they say come in at 6, don't show up at 5:45. Perfect game here so far for Tommy. 95,000 for DanV. Fractal wants them to commentate a match. You want me to get my friend Dan in there to commentate? All right. I will. Five minutes is acceptable, yeah, but a half hour. I think that maybe there was a miscommunication. I think they're 45 minutes early. So not even everyone is dressed in the house, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta put my shirt on. Gotta wear pants. 163 Tommy and DanV. Maybe building up a little bit too high, trying to play a little too perfect, and getting RNG'd a bit near the top of the stack. Able, I think, to bring this down though, and just needs something to open up that right side, and does get it. And now it's Tommy kind of in trouble, so I wonder if they both got RNG'd at the same time. DanV the Tommy was in less of a position to handle it. His stack a little bit lower. And all right, both players okay. Tommy's still in the lead, but I expect that to change. Now, class, of course, you should show up. I try to show up exactly on time. It depends if there's a waiting room, you can show up early, that kind of thing. But I will sit out in the car, and wait till the time. I hate being late for anything though, so I much prefer to be a couple seconds early than 3 minutes late. The one thing, you know, through all my ADD and executive dysfunction and all that kind of stuff, I'm not late for stuff. I am on time. So RNG pretty rough this game, as Game Scout is saying. 263 for Tommy, 268 DanV. Same line count. About 17,000 points difference. Long bar is the lowest line count here. There's 27 bars compared to 44 L pieces and 40 Ts and 40 Js. But so it's, you know, kind of inconvenient RNG. All right, 365 DanV, 404 Tommy. So I'm not sure if you can hear all the. You might hear stuff in the background. You might hear people, noises, and all that. DanV. I was starting to worry there, but it looks like Dan's going to be able to handle this. It's still low enough. Yeah, Lapis is here. Lapis showed up. Oh my god. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sure anybody is findable nowadays, right? So I would not be surprised to see that happen one of these days. DanV now just 4 lines away from the 19 transition. Opens it up just in time. Gets a bar down and gets a Tetris. 408 for DanV, 522 for Tommy, both on level 19. Tommy uncovers that right side, gets a long bar down Tetris, 551, 457 for vandweller. People spamming the Tommy's gotta be careful clip on Twitch. I want somehow an AI tool where you can get that clip. If you've never seen it, you're just gonna have to see it on Twitch. An AI of that, like an AI tool featuring that clip, but it'll put anybody's name in. You know, like, DanV's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Danny, no. You know, like that kind of thing. That would be great. You can put any name in there. So if somebody wants to get to work on that, maybe during the CTM hackathon, you can work on that. Oh, Tavern wants to know how many eyepieces now. All right. Eyepiece update 50 compared to 70 T pieces. Maybe I'll try to get that on the screen somehow. I don't like to gum up the screen too much, but I don't know. Well, people want the flags too, you know. If I put the eyepiece on there, people want the flags as well. It's like, Vandy, it's been years. Where are the flags? You promised us the flags. 715 Tommy. Tetris for DanV, 726. Tommy trying to force a deciding game 5. DanV wants to win it right now. All right, Tetris DanV 796, 818 Tommy. DanV, the winner in our shortened format, our Faster Masters format that had limited 29 play. Compressed everything, just the 129 lines and the 119 lines. Oh, that T to the left, so close to the 29 transition. That could fester. See how DanV handles it. Okay, there we go. Turn it into a Tetris. Why not? Mr. Bastine, thanks for the subscription. Says, hey, what's up, Vandy? Hey, nothing much. Just Tetris things. DanV going to take that skim into 29 and a triple down the right side to knock all this down. DanV looking for, Tommy looking for a Tetris into 29. Getting droughted a bit. Kind of a droughty seed. DanV open on that left side. That's going to be a top out for DanV. And Tommy is good. And we are going to a decider. Just what we want in this format. It's 5 games. But then we're not going that deep into the 29 speed anyway. So this is pretty much just like a normal match. So Tommy is good. All right, both players are ready. It is decider time. Tommy and DanVweller, the winner of this. They continue on in the tournament. Round 2. The loser stays home because they're already home. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Big Pile Guam asking the real question. What is an inter-abacus sport? I have no idea. Is it literally is that like intramural sports? Inter-abacus? What is an abacus? I mean, I know what an abacus is, but what does that have to do with inter-abacus? I'm guessing it's like, I don't really know. I have no idea. Tetris DanV 69,068. Now a Tetris 91 for Tommy. Galaxy Biscuit says a race while holding an abacus and doing problems the judges give you, obviously. Arctic knows the Association of British and Chinese University Students. So there you go. It is a group, a campus group. And DanV's like, no, that's not what it is at all. 105 DanV, 124 Tommy. DanV's not concerned about it. DanV's like, I need to win. Tetris DanV 129. DanV's like, I want to win all the months where it's non-standard Masters event, right? Just the regular Masters event. Nope, don't want to win that one. I want to win faster. I want to win no cap. Tetris DanV 174, 196 for Tommy. Just spamming squares to the left side. Long bar down Tetris 199. Tommy in the lead by a Tetris. And after this match, stay tuned for Fractal and Allenbot. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but Allenbot was the winner of Classic Tetris World Championship this year. Sorry to spoil it. Maybe DanV gonna have to edit that out. 270 Tommy. 239 for DanVweller. Tom V. Tetris, DanVweller 286, Tommy 317, Rubik's Cubie 1000 bits. Thank you very much, Rubik's Cubie. Oh, and we've got we have a dog here in the apartment now because they brought the dog over. So Yoli wants to get in and say hello. Hi, Yoli. Maybe I'll show you the dog during the break in these two matches. But yeah, Fractal and Allenbot will be going after this one. Tetris for DanV 356, Tommy 412. Alex T with 1000 bits. Are you serious, man? Oh my god. Hype train level 2 has been achieved. So yeah, keep the hype train going. That would be good. We could use the help, I'll tell you that. I know, inflation is now under control. Thanks to Bidenomics, everything's perfect now, so you all have disposable income. So now you can spend it supporting our channel. All right, we're just about 10 lines away from the level 19 transition. DanV back by about 80,000 points. Tommy gets a Tetris 536. There's one down for DanV. DanV setting up log bar column 9. Tommy gonna take a skim that it's still covered, keeps the well covered here on 19, but it is 19 and it's low enough where it should be okay. All right, Tommy gonna uncover and is good. And gets the Tetris down. So there we go, 576. 480 here for DanV, gets a Tetris down. Tommy with about a 68,000 point lead. We have yet to see a real deep 29 run from either of these players in this match. Haven't needed to go there. We had a early top out in game 3, and then just kind of briefly, shortly after 29 was achieved, somebody else topping out. So we'll see. This could be the one. Tetris, Tommy, 584 for DanV, 673 for Tommy. Another one, DanV. DanV sets up column 9, that long bar, and gets another one down for the Tetris. So about a 90,000 point lead for Tommy. There's infinite Chasedown possibility. So plenty of space for both of these players to overcome anything. Tetris, Tommy, 772. There's one, DanV. People are rooting for double colors. That's what they want. They want both players to reach level 138. Brosmans has just gifted 20 tier 1 subs to the Classic Tetris Monthly community. Thank you so much, Brosmans. See if I can get them done before we hit 29. Sunny D, Classic Vomp, Skip Logic, Wing Fryer, Mino Floof, vandweller, Captain, Professor SSB, Neo 78, Leash 420, Ledukai 156, Bell Baby Bell, Straight Capacitance, Hespeler Maniac, Zaze 666, Not Sam TS, Small Jordan, Norbert the Boriac, Pyre Pie, and Trisky Sky You have all received a gift sub from Brosmans, so thank you so much, Brosmans, for your contribution and support of this channel. Oh, I said Leash is Lisa H. I can the chat screen is very far away. Tommy is into 29 at 960, and DanV is in at 960 as well, so it is pretty darn close. There's DanV with a triple 971. We are super neck and neck, so it's whoever blinks first, really. DanV singling and doubling. There is a double. We'll see if either of these players wants to try and put pressure on the other, but a lot of times you see that happen and it backfires. All right, Tommy bringing this down. DanV trying to bring this down. A lot of vertical kind of dependencies here for DanV's side. And this is going to be spicy for DanV. We'll see if he can bring this down. And the answer is going to be no. DanV tops out, and Tommy has completed the reverse sweep. Tommy is going to take this one down. 3 games to do. The big reverse D right there in the decider. GG's Tommy went down 2 games to none, and DanV just can't close this one out. Tommy will be moving on to face the winner of our next match. So DanV, you can go ahead and get some sleep. Kind of perfect for you.